I was walking along behind the risers in the dressing rooms, and up walked Jimmy Page. They weren't scheduled to play until Sunday to close the show, but Jimmy wanted to come up and see what it was all about. So he said, "Hey man, how are you?" I said, "I'm doing great, good to see you." And he said, "Man, I'm tripping on some wicked acid. You got any downs?" I said, "No, I don't have any downs, Jimmy, but I got a joint if you want to smoke it." And he said, "Sure, yeah, let's do it." So I lit up the joint, took a big hit, and passed it to Jimmy. He took a long drag, and I could see a sigh of relief on his face. And after about 5 minutes of smoking, he had regained his composure and was feeling pretty good. And we started talking about meeting in the Yardbirds and Zeppelin at the Tea Party and such. And then along came Jeff Beck with his gold top strapped around his neck, playing his licks down the hall. Jimmy saw him coming, and he immediately grabbed his Les Paul and strapped it on. And Jeff said, "Hey, Jimmy, how are you?" And Jimmy said, "Hey, I'm fine. What's up?" And Jeff said, "Hey, man, have you seen this lick?" And he played a blistering lick. And Jimmy said, "How about this one? You know this one?" And Jeff said, "Check this out." And he played another incredible lick. And Jimmy said, "Oh, yeah, well, how about this?" And Jeff said, "Oh, man, check this one out." And this went on for about 2.5, 3 minutes. Two of the greatest guitar players on the planet and me taking it all in, 19 years old. So finally, Jimmy started to burn out, and he took his guitar off and he handed it to me and he said, "Here, you play." And I thought to myself, are you freaking kidding me? You just played in a guitar battle with Jeff Beck and now you want me to continue in your place? Well, Jeff didn't know how good I was, so he said, "Well, how about this one?" And he played something incredible. And I played something. Jimmy's guitar was easy to play, but I knew I was so far in over my head, I had to quit or risk serious embarrassment. And I said, "I'm just here to relax and listen to you, Jeff." And I handed Jimmy his guitar back and he put it back in the case. So Jeff strolled off. He said, "So long, mate." And they went out on the stage with Rod Stewart and the band, and they tore the house down. Man, they just were inspired beyond belief. The night lights came on. It was dark. He played his ass off. Man, it was just unbelievable. And as I drove home that day, that night, I thought, wow, I was a part of a guitar battle of two guitar gods at the time, perhaps the greatest in the world. What an honor, what a thrill it was. And that is my musical moment for that particular day. Hope you enjoyed this story. There's plenty more, and I will see you down the story highway on the next musical moment with the old-time rock and roller. Stick around, my friends. There's lots to come. So long.